Welcome to Astrodology, the podcast that brings you knowledge, wisdom, and principles that can help you find the peace and comfort we all seek and deserve in our lives. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Astrodology with Astrid. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing well. I'm so grateful that you're here tuning in. Today's message is titled, Your Life's Purpose and Your Time. You know, time is a thing that will, I think, forever plague man. You know, we're taught that time is not as linear and just boxed in as we think, that it's more expansive and involves so many great things. But that's truly hard for us to recognize and to accept. I get it because, you know, time, we're living on the 3D, and the way that the 3D world is set up, time is a big part of it. So I hope you get inspired by this message. This message comes from 2004. These are messages and notes that I wrote back in the day because I was so inspired by them. Oprah Winfrey will pop up as the main theme in this topic. So let's get into it with this quote from Oprah Winfrey. How you spend your time defines who you are. Time is a big issue in our lives today, as I've said. We all seem to want and need more of it. We all get the exact same amount of time. Yet it seems there are people who manage to experience time better, or they seem to eke out more joy in the time that we all get. I believe it is because they enjoy life and have connected with the purpose for being here. So finding your life purpose means you are unwilling to waste time wallowing in fear and recognize what a gift it is to be alive. We are all unique with gifts incomparable to share. Finding our life's purpose involves taking time to learn what it is that you want. It's like signing up for college. How about get a degree in yourself? How about getting a degree in yourself? Jacob Needleman said, our relationship to time is what it is because we lie to ourselves about what we are and what we can do, and we hide from ourselves what we are meant to be and what we are meant to serve. Amen to that. So, from the 2004 April issue of the Oprah magazine, she had a section called What I Know for Sure. She talks about time so eloquently. So here we go. Here are some of her words. I am more aware of time now than I ever have been. Something about turning 50 does that to you. I feel an almost primal awareness in the core of myself that there's a finite amount of time left, and that feeling permeates everything I do and dictates how I react in every moment. I'm more conscious and appreciative of every experience, every awakening glee. I'm still here. I get another chance today to get it right. I try to take them all in, even the negative ones, and see how they relate back to something that I created. I believe nothing is happening out of order with yourself. What I know for sure is that how you spend your time defines who you are. I try not to waste time because I don't want to waste myself. I'm working on not letting people with dark energy consume any of my time. I've learned that the hard way. After giving up hours of myself and my time, which are synonymous when you think about it, I've learned from my experience of getting sucked into other people's ego dysfunction that their darkness casts a shadow on the light you need to be yourself and for others. What I know for sure is that giving yourself time to just be and not do is essential to fulfilling your mission as a human being. I know for sure you cannot give and give and give to everybody else and not give back to yourself. You end up empty or at best less than what you can be for yourself and your family and your work. Replenish the well of yourself for yourself first. And if you think there is no time to do that, what you're really saying is, I have no life to give or live for myself. And if you have no life to live for yourself, then why are you here? Amen to that. There's so many people literally just wasting space on earth. Again, because they won't do the work. They refuse to do the work and do the one thing that God asks us to do, is to know thyself, love thyself, and love our neighbors. Okay, Jacob Needleman again. Time rushes by because we're not engaged enough in life. Not enough of our being is involved in our own life. To be devoured by our life is not to be engaged in living. On the contrary, when we are devoured by life, it means the self, one's own self, is not present. We all dream of getting to a point in life when we have it all together. What am I supposed to be doing while I'm here? That's a question that comes up often. Very minute percentages of people are lucky enough to know what their destiny is and are able to pursue it with pointed focus. There are those people that from childhood, they know they want to be a doctor. They know they want to be an engineer. They know they want to be a writer, whatever it is. But most of us have to have many jobs, careers, and junctures in life that seem to create relatively satisfying lives. Others still never seem to find any purpose and often settle for what is comfortable and accepting that their life is just mediocre. One huge purpose of life for us all is to live a rich, satisfying life where we walk erect and free. We discount today because it doesn't really matter much, in quotes. We often hear, it's just another day. Each day is a gift, though, and a chance, as to Oprah says, to get it right. Thomas More. Most of us put a great deal of time into work, not only because we have to work so many hours to make a living, but because work is central to the soul's opus. We are crafting ourselves, individuating, to use a Jungian term. Work is fundamental to the opus because the whole point of life is the fabrication of the soul. And, we really take for granted, like these thoughts are saying, we really just make an assumption that we're going to be here tomorrow. And again, it's like, oh, it's just another day. So this next thought comes from Carol Adrian in her book, The Purpose of Your Life. She says, in every moment, we are developing our life purpose. At this moment, you are in the stage of your developing purpose, and you are not off track no matter how blocked you currently feel. Your calling has already been made itself known through what motivates you, past and present, what attracts you, what you resist, and what frustrates you. Your calling may have made a brief appearance between the ages of 3 to 8 years old, or revealed itself in an adolescence through a sudden interest. Your calling can also be a glimpse in what you admire in others. It can seem like in those abilities you have, you don't think are special. You are almost always working on purpose when you lose track of time. Some part of your purpose is also being served as you deal with obstacles and problems. Resolving obstacle brings you to a great power and knowledge of a specific kind necessary for your specific purpose. A piece of your life purpose may be fulfilled by the knowing that results from pain, struggle, and illness. However, if your life is only a mountain of continual obstacles, then you are going to have to take another look at the kind of beliefs you have about life. Generally, when you are on the right path, things flow. And I love that. Generally, like she says, when you are on the right path, things flow. There was a term that was popular many years ago called flow state. Flow state. But like Eckhart Tolle and other spiritual teachers talk about, we're not in flow when we resist. When we reject what's happening to us, that knocks us off track of being in flow. It's not easy being human, and self-awareness, self-care, health, and wellness it's a full-time job. And again, we need to honor and figure out what that purpose is. Unfortunately, there's some people, like I said, they never find their purpose because they don't value what they have to give and to contribute to this world. And the final thought from Dr. Carl Jung. For the unconscious always tries to produce an impossible situation in order to force the individual to bring out his very best. Otherwise, one stops short of one's best. One is not complete. One does not realize oneself. What is needed is an impossible situation where one has to renounce one's own will and one's own wit and do nothing but wait and trust to the impersonal. Power of growth and development. When you are up against a wall, be still and put down roots like a tree until clarity comes from deeper sources to see over that wall. Wow. Amen, amen, amen. As I've said in other podcasts, stillness is the new medicine. It's natural for us to think, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Oftentimes, the only thing we can do is just be. But being feels like we're doing nothing. But sometimes that is really, really where we need to do. Sometimes we need to just stand. Gosh, that was such a powerful way to close out this message today. I hope you found some value, a little bit of pearl of wisdom, but I hope starting whenever you hear this message that you start to really appreciate your time. And here's the thing about time. If you are intentional and deliberately plan time to do nothing, you're not actually wasting time. Doing nothing is part of time. Like doing is part of time. Sleeping and eating and working and exercising is part of time. I think our problem with time is that we don't take enough time to do nothing. Anyway, I'm guilty as charged, and it's something that I really, really am working on getting better at. We're all on the path together, and that's why I appreciate being able to have this podcast to talk about all of these spiritual principles, because it's so valuable that we understand how complex, how beautiful, how powerful, and how magical we are. Thank you again so much for tuning in to Astrodology with Astrid. I'll catch you in the next episode. Namaste. Thank you for listening to Astrodology. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help support the podcast, please hit the subscribe button and tell your friends about it by sharing this program on social media. You can also follow me on Instagram at Coda Life Goddess or at CodaLife.com. Coda is C-O-T-A, Coda Life Goddess or CodaLife.com. Thank you again for listening to Astrodology, and I'll see you next time.